Welcome to the Platinum Awards 2022, where we take a look at the Game of the Year contenders and the best Platinum trophies that I've played in 2022. This video is a little bit late, but that's because I was still playing some of the games from last year. But now I'm ready to share with you my top 5 games of the year and my top 5 Plats of the year. And I didn't get to play everything, so on screen now is a bunch of games that I just didn't get a chance to play at all. And the rest of the games that are not on this list, maybe you'll see them inside my rankings. First, let's go over a couple games that didn't quite make the top 5. I want to talk about first Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, I've been very down on the Pokemon series as a whole, especially when Sword and Shield came out. But you know what? I finally got a chance to play this game and it's awesome. I thought it was really good shakeup to the series, and I haven't gotten a chance to play Scarlet and Violet yet. I hear a lot of mixed things about it, but at least for this one, everybody can say that they loved it, and I loved it too. I didn't get to fully finish it, so that's more or less why it's not quite on the list, but I do think it's a very good game. Then I also played Horizon Forbidden West, which doesn't make the list, but is a very good game. I played Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West back to back, and I can say that the story in this one is much better than the first one, and they also have a lot of good quality of life changes to this game that make the gameplay better. Even when it comes to the trophy run, it's better than the first one. But I think playing them back to back didn't really do me too many favors, as I still think that the game is lacking in some aspects of it. The experience is very similar to the first one, so if you love the first one, you're gonna love this one. I was kind of mixed on the first one when I played it, and then now this one I'm a little bit mixed as well. But it's still a very good game. Gran Turismo 7 is another game that I quite enjoyed the time I put into it, although I think it is missing a lot of cars, and I think that it is missing some of the things that make that series so great, and as well the live service elements of it really hamper down the experience and get in the way, especially when it comes to the monetization of getting these damn cars and getting credits. And they just finally put in selling cars recently, which should have been there from the beginning. With all that negative stuff out of the way, I did enjoy it. I think the cafe is a really good mode. It's a really high class and very good way to tell the story, and I did enjoy it, but I think the game could have been better. As well, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands will be the last one that I shout at here before we get into the top 5. I like this game because it's Borderlands and it's medieval and you get to create your own character. The loot game is very good in this one. I thought the weapons all felt really awesome to play, especially when you get to the purple and orange tier weapons. They are just so creative and awesome that I really enjoyed that. But I think that this game has horrible balancing when it comes to level scaling, especially when you get into the chaos tiers where bosses just feel so spongy and so unbalanced. It's maniacal. And as well, the DLC for this game completely sucks and is not worth your money. I hope they never pull a scam like that again. So these things brought the experience down, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. Okay, let's get into the top 5 now. Number 5 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. This is the game that I delayed this video for because over the holidays I got to play a lot more of it, especially co-op with my family, and this game is absolutely wonderful. It is top-notch callback to those old turtle games in the Cowabunga collection. It's all so wonderfully done, from the level design of this beat 'em up to the mechanics. It's just fun. That's the big word here. It's fun. And what's super fun is when you get to play 6 people on screen at the same time. It gets so much fun. It gets chaotic And something that was missing from Streets 4 that is here is that you can play those same 6 players online, and there is really great matchmaking and drop in and drop out co-op. That's what Streets of Rage 4 needed. Now, I don't think that the mechanics themselves are as deep as Streets of Rage 4. I think Streets of Rage 4 is a lot more rewarding in the long run to keep playing it. But if you're looking for fun and to experience that old school Turtles beat 'em up style, this is the perfect game to play. Number 4 on this list was a complete left field shock to me. And it's not even a game you can play yet on PlayStation. It is Marvel Snap. This is a mobile TCG game with Marvel heroes, and it's excellent. You have a deck of only 12 cards, so making the deck is easy. The synergy between the cards is really good, and as you're playing, there is an element of pulling off these big combos very frequently because the size of the deck is so small. It's very much like Hearthstone in the way it plays, but you can be a lot more consistent and you can pull off some huge combos with the cards that you get. Progression for this game is great, and monetization is only cosmetic. So you can't really pay to have the best cards in this game. You have to unlock them as you play through the game. And as a free-to-play player, I have gotten pretty deep into the card pool, and I have made some great decks around different themes like destroying cards or discarding cards in order to buff other cards, or cheating out big heroes that you would normally have to pay the energy for them. As time has gone on, the game just keeps getting deeper with new card additions that make the meta shake up. As well, nerfs have been implemented to make sure that deck archetypes don't take over the meta. So I have been absolutely enthralled with this game from the first match that I played, and it just keeps getting more interesting. Now, one thing I will complain about is when it comes to those cosmetics, they really charge a lot for these things. Like, they really need to go slower on this monetization stuff because, man, are they taking the whole wallet. But again, it's all just cosmetic stuff, so you don't even have to buy it. And I get plenty of variants just by going through the battle pass, playing through the progression of the game. This game is awesome, and check it out if you haven't. It's on your phones. You can just download it and try it out. Number 3 goes to Stray. Yes, the cat game is on the list. These devs, Blue 12, made their very first game, and they hit. They definitely hit, because this game was a small zeitgeist for everybody when it first came out. And it's awesome. The way that the cat moves is awesome. The way he traverses the levels is awesome. The way the world is, where you can just explore and build pieces of the story together as to what the heck happened, is just a joy. Especially when you factor in the memories and some other collectible stuff that you can get. It plays really well. It looks really good. And I thoroughly enjoyed it when it came out. I can definitely understand some people not liking this type of experience, but as someone who loves indie games, this was right up my alley, no pun intended. And in general, I think the indie games carried this year, and that goes right to our number 2 game that is a wonderful indie game as well, Tunic. Tunic, let me tell you about Tunic. This game had my jaw on the floor, dragging as I just couldn't believe what I was seeing sometimes with this game. The secrets that you discover in this game and how you discover them is just mind-blowing. This is, for all intents and purposes, a game like Link's Awakening, the remake that was on the Switch, but way more clever than that. You have this instruction booklet that you're building in-game, and inside that instruction booklet, it's telling you where to go and where to look for secrets and how to get certain things and do certain things. if you don't like that and you just want answers up front, I think you might be agitated with this mechanic, but I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly wanted to go and explore everything, collect all the secret treasures, collect all the weapons, collect everything really. And it never stopped just smacking my head with new amazing wonders, new ways to find new secret paths. It just kept hitting me, and that's why I think it's so good and so high up on my Game of the Year list, only to be dethroned by one game that had a ton of hype going into it and really delivered. And that's our number one game on the list, God of War Ragnarok. This game had ton of hype, expectation. The weight of this game was certainly there, and it delivered. That's the important thing about it. It delivered. The story definitely concludes in a way that I didn't expect it to include. I definitely thought I had it all figured out before starting the game, but it still found a way to surprise and also conclude in a very satisfying way. And while my biggest complaint about the game is that it's very similar to the 2018 reboot game in terms of gameplay and map exploration, I still think they did it better by adding new runic abilities and adding a brand new weapon that you can play around with, which I loved. As the total package, it definitely deserves to be number one on this list. And I thoroughly loved God of War Ragnarok, which is my game of the year. And now we can get into the best platinum trophies I've collected this year, the top 5 platinum trophies. And these don't necessarily have to be games that have come out this year, although the list has plenty of those already. But here we go. We just talked about God of War Ragnarok as being the number one game. Well, I have it here on the list as the 5th best platinum trophy I've gotten this year. The platinum trophy run is excellent because it lets you just focus on the story first, and then you can get all the extra content afterwards. And you got some cool stuff like fighting the berserkers. You got some extra fights included as well. The side quests are all very good, and the trophies make you go out and do them. You'll be done this trophy run in about 40 to 45 hours, so it doesn't really overstay its welcome. I just think it's a great platinum trophy, and it would have been number one like the 2018 game was last year, but I think it's very similar to that one, so the surprise element is kind of gone for me, and I have a bunch of other games that I think have better platinum trophy runs. Number 4 is Tunic. We just talked about this game being a spectacle when it comes to all the secrets that are in it and the instruction booklet. Well, this platinum trophy run is great because it makes you go out and find all of these secrets and just marvel in the wonders of looking for these things. But even outside of some collectible trophies, it's still excellent when it comes to making you do a couple of challenge trophies that are pretty fun, like collecting the gun before you collect the sword. That was an interesting trophy. And you got other stuff that are related to the game that I don't want to spoil, but they're all great. The only thing anchoring this trophy run down is that it lets you put maximum stamina and it lets you become invincible, which I don't really like when games do that, because then it really trivializes this trophy run. But of course, you don't have to interact with those things at all, so it's not a huge deal. I'm still putting Tunic on this list because it's an excellent trophy run. Next, we have Super Perils of Baking at number 3. Lilymo Games has always been very thoughtful when it comes to the way they do their trophy runs, and it's no different here. With Super Perils of Baking, you can either play the PS4 version of the game, which is considered the easy mode trophy set and the one that I did because I suck at 2D platformers, or you can play the PS5 version of the game with a trophy set that is much harder and aims to go for 100% completion. As well, the trophy run is made by one Brian English, PS5 trophies on YouTube, so you know it's good. The team knew that essentially whether it's the PS4 or PS5 version of the game, they're gonna run the same, and they give you both versions anyways, so you really get to choose if you want to do the harder 100% completion, which is going to be a difficult challenge if you're up for it, or if you just want to enjoy the game but still get the platinum trophy, you can do the PS4 version, which has about, I think, 33% of the collectibles around there. There's a few things that you still have to get 100% of the collectibles, but the option is there for people who just want to have fun and get a platinum trophy out of it. I wish more developers would get more creative with trophies, and this is one of the ways you can be very creative with your trophy run and be a lot more thoughtful. The runner-up spot at number 2 goes to the Game of the Year darling of last year, It Takes Two. I didn't get to play this until February of this year, but man, was it an experience, and the trophy run was definitely an excellent one that I needed to shout out, despite the fact that this is a 2021 game. You essentially have a trophy for beating the game. You have a trophy for collecting all the 2-player mini games where you face off against each other, and then the rest of the trophies are all environmental trophies inside of the levels that make you explore everything you can find in these amazingly crafted levels. You just end up finding a whole bunch of these amazing Easter eggs that are hidden in the level, one of them pertaining to Hazelight's last game, A Way Out, which I still have to play, and a lot of other ones just being awesome. They crafted these amazing levels that never get boring, and these Easter eggs are hidden in there, and the trophy guide's just gonna make you go get them. And overall, when it's all said and done, you really feel like you got an amazing platinum trophy in your collection because of how wonderful this game is. And if you don't know anything about It Takes Two, it's a co-op game that you have to play with a friend, no ifs, ands, or buts, and the game gives you a friend pass to easily let someone else play the game with you. It's a wonderful game. It's the Game of the Year at the Game Awards last year. You should definitely check it out and get this platinum trophy if you haven't. And our number 1 best platinum trophy run of the year goes to Stray. Stray is on the list again, and this time at number 1 for the best platinum trophy I have gotten this year. And it's all thanks to just how thoughtful the trophies are. There's wonderful trophy design in this game, with things like a trophy for meowing, because there's a dedicated meow button in the game. There's a trophy for taking a cat nap, and there are trophies for doing other cat things like scratching. It's just so flavorful. And even beyond these novelty trophies, you also have excellent challenge type trophies like the Can't Catch Me trophy that's become kind of famous amongst people who've played the game. You have to get through that corridor without ever getting touched by the Zerks, which is those little buggy head crab things. There's the trophy where you have to do the whole level and get into the apartment complex without ever getting caught by any of the security bots floating around that part of the city. As well, there is a speedrun trophy added to this, and I know a lot of people, they get nervous with speedrun trophies, but this one is only 2 hours long because the game isn't that long. If you do mess it up, it's not really a huge time sink, and it is very enjoyable to go at breakneck speed as a cat. I just think this trophy guide had a lot more thought than your normal trophy run, and Blue 12 really did a good job with this platinum run. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's the best platinum trophy I collected this year, and you guys should definitely check it out if you haven't. Grab that one. You're gonna have a great time. That's it for the Platinum Awards of 2022. Let me know down in the comment section what is your game of the year and what is the best Platinum trophy that you got in 2022. Remember, it doesn't have to be a Platinum trophy that came out during the year. Just tell me what the best one you got in the year. Subscribe for more trophy guides. There's gonna be a lot coming this year. And of course, as I always say, I hope all your trophy hunting expeditions for 2023 go incredibly well. Peace out.